I was looking at the price tag on some of these cruise bookings while prepping for this, and I had this moment of, I guess you'd call it vacation math panic. You spend thousands of dollars on the room, and you assume that, price equals happiness. It's a pretty basic equation, right?
It seems like it should be.
But looking at these sources and the stack of research we have, that math seems completely broken.
It is broken.
Okay.
And it's broken because we're trained to buy travel the same way we buy cars. You want the leather seats. You pay for the higher trim level.
Right.
You want the best cruise experience. Well, you buy the suite or the balcony.
Yeah.
We just assume the more we spend, the better time we'll have.
Right. It's a ladder. The inside cabin is the bottom, the dungeon, basically. Ocean view is a step up. Balcony is the gold standard where everyone wants to be.
And the suite is the dream.
Exactly. And that's how the websites are built. That's how all the brochures are laid out.
Exactly. And that ladder is a marketing construct. It's not an experience construct. That is the key distinction the sources are making today. They argue that most travelers, even really experienced ones, are paying a premium for a label, like the word balcony, while actively sabotaging the actual outcome of their trip.
Sabotaging is a pretty strong word. I mean, if I book a suite, I might be overpaying, sure, but am I really sabotaging myself?
Think about it this way. If you pay an extra $2,000 for a penthouse suite, because penthouse sounds luxurious.
It sounds great.
But it happens to be located directly under the pool deck, where the crew starts scraping heavy metal chairs across the wood floor at 5 a.m. every morning. Did you buy luxury?
No, I bought a headache. A very expensive headache.
Exactly. You paid $2,000 extra for a sunrise wake-up call you can't turn off.
Yeah.
You bought the label penthouse, but you bought the outcome sleep deprivation.
Okay, when you put it that way, that's painful.
That's the disconnect, and that's what we're taking apart today. The sources call it the Luxe Code Way. It's a decision framework designed to ignore the marketing ladder entirely and focus on removing friction.
I like that. Removing friction. It sounds a lot more practical than just chasing luxury.
It is.
So, we have a roadmap for this deep dive. We're going to solve 3 big mysteries. First, we're going to look at the Luxe Code framework itself, the 4 things you're actually buying when you book a room.
Right.
Second, we're going to go to cabin category court and finally settle the debate on balconies. Are they worth it or are they, a scam?
Oh, that is a spicy topic. I'm ready for that one.
It really is. And third, we're going to give everyone the secret weapon. We're going to play a game called Deck Plan Bingo so you can spot the hazards on a ship map before you even book.
This is the most actionable part. It really changes everything.
So let's jump in. The Luxe Code premise is, don't ask what is the nicest cabin, ask what outcome am I buying? The sources break this down into 4 specific outcomes. Let's start with outcome number 1. It seems obvious, but apparently it's the first thing people sacrifice.
Sleep. It is the non-negotiable. And yet people ignore it because they get distracted by pretty pictures of, throw pillows.
Right.
The framework here is stark. If your sleep is compromised, the entire trip feels longer and harder. It doesn't matter if you have a butler. It doesn't matter if you have a wraparound veranda. If you are vibrating because you're sitting directly over the engine thrusters. Or if you're hearing the elevator ding every 30 seconds, you have failed the primary outcome.
I've actually been there. I had a room once that was beautiful, but the walls were paper thin and I could hear the TV next door all night. By day 3, I didn't care about the ocean view. I just wanted a nap.
And that's where that whole ladder thinking fails you. You assume the more expensive room has better soundproofing.
Yeah, you would think.
It often doesn't.
Yeah.
Soundproofing is usually the same from the cheapest room to the most expensive. So outcome 1 is sleep, mitigating noise, vibration, and light. If you don't secure that, nothing else matters.
Okay. So outcome 2 is flow. Now, looking at the notes, this one resonated with me because I've shared small cabins with my partner before, and flow feels like a contact sport sometimes.
It's Tetris, but you are inside the blocks. Flow is the room dynamic. It's not just square footage, it's usability. Can 2 adults get ready for dinner at the same time without stepping on each other?
The classic getting ready for dinner stress test, yes.
It breaks relationships. Picture this. One person is trying to shower, the other is trying to find a shirt. In a poorly designed room, opening the closet door physically blocks the bathroom door.
Oh, I've seen that.
That is bad flow. You're constantly apologizing to your partner just to put on socks.
So you're saying a smaller room with a smart layout where the closet is tucked away can actually feel bigger than a massive suite with a dumb layout.
100%. The sources emphasize that usable floor space is really different from total square footage.
Right.
If you have to climb over your suitcase to get to the bed, you've failed the flow test, no matter what category label is on the door.
Which leads right into outcome 3, pace. This one actually changed how I look at itineraries. It's all about the time factor.
This is the variable most people just ignore. You have to ask, what is the usage rate of this cabin? Let's say you are on a port-heavy itinerary.
Okay.
You're doing the Mediterranean, Rome, Florence, Naples, back-to-back. You are off the ship from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. every single day.
You come back, you shower, you eat, you pass out.
Exactly. Your cabin is a locker with a bed. In that scenario, paying for a massive balcony or a suite is, as the notes say, purchasing capacity you will not use.
It's like renting a ballroom to read a paperback book.
That's a perfect way to put it. It's inefficient.
But flip it, what if I'm crossing the Atlantic?
Totally different math. If you are on a sea day, heavy itinerary, 5 days with no land in sight, your cabin becomes your living room, your dining room, your sanctuary. You'll be awake in it for 6-7 hours a day.
And suddenly that space is worth it.
The value of that space skyrockets. So pace is about matching the room to the schedule.
Precisely. And finally, outcome 4, access. This is the daily friction.
This is physics. It's about drag. Where are you relative to the things you use? If you love the pool, but you're on deck 4 forward, and the pool is deck 15 aft,
That's a hike.
you are building a 20-minute commute into your vacation every time you forget your sunglasses.
The walk of shame back to the cabin. We've all done it.
We have all done it. Access just reduces the drag on your day. It preserves your energy for the fun stuff.
So those are the 4 outcomes: sleep, flow, pace, and access. If we use those as our lens, the traditional cabin categories start to look a little different. Let's put them on trial. We'll call this cabin category court.
I am ready to judge. Let's do it.
First up, inside cabins. No windows, no natural light. The myth is that they're just claustrophobic closets for people who can't afford better. I mean, honestly, the idea of waking up in pitch blackness kind of freaks me out.
That is the marketing myth. The reality, according to our Luxe Code sources, is that inside cabins are the perfect base camp.
Base camp.
If your outcome is access and pace, meaning you're out of the room all day exploring ports, an inside cabin is brilliant. It forces you to engage with the ship. You aren't tempted to, rot in your room.
And the sleep factor, I imagine that's pretty good.
Unbeatable for depth.
Yep.
It is sensory deprivation. If you need to catch up on deep sleep, the darkness of an inside cabin is a feature, not a bug.
But there's a warning label here, right? It can't be all good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They fail if you need a daytime sanctuary.
Yeah.
If you are the type of person who needs to retreat and read a book in natural light for 2 hours a day to recharge your social battery, an inside cabin will feel like a prison cell.
Right.
And because they're often filler rooms, they can share walls with noisy crew areas. So you have to be really careful with location.
Okay, next category, ocean view. This is usually just a window, maybe a porthole. Is it worth the upgrade from inside?
This is where it gets nuanced. The sources call ocean view the data category.
Data, what does it mean?
The window isn't really for the view. It's usually small and kind of salty. It's for orientation. It lets you know, is it day or night? Is the weather terrible? Are we moving? It provides data, but, and this is key, it does not automatically solve flow or access. The room is usually the exact same size as an inside.
So you're not getting more space.
You're not. You're just getting a clock and a weather report.
So don't buy it expecting luxury. Buy it if you need the sunlight to wake up.
Correct.
All right, we have to fight about this next one because I read the critique in the notes. They call the balcony cabin the expensive drying rack, and I felt personally attacked.
A lot of people do.
For most people, the balcony is the holy grail. You open the door, you hear the ocean. Are we really saying that's a waste?
We aren't saying it's always a waste. We're saying it's a conditional asset. But the source material is brutal on this. For about 50% of cruisers, the balcony is a donation to the cruise line's bottom line.
Okay, defend that. Why is it a donation?
Okay, think about the environment. If you're cruising the Caribbean in August, it is 95 degrees with 90% humidity.
Ugh.
You step out, your glasses fog up, you sweat for 3 minutes, and you retreat back to the AC.
Fair. I have definitely done that.
Or consider the wind. You're on a ship moving at 20 knots. That creates a wind tunnel. Unless you're in a protected cove or moving slowly, you aren't sipping wine gently on the veranda. You're holding onto your glass so it doesn't blow away.
It's loud and it's windy.
It is.
So we're buying the fantasy of the balcony, the commercial where the couple is in robes having a perfect, calm breakfast, rather than the reality of wind and humidity.
Precisely. It's an identity purchase.
Yeah.
You buy it because you see yourself as a balcony person. But here is the Luxe Code exception. If you are an introvert, or if you need stillness, the balcony is priceless.
Stillness, I like that.
It is the only place on a ship with 4,000 people where you control the environment. If you need private air to escape the energy of the pool deck, or if you are on a scenic sailing like Alaska where the view is actually the destination, then it is worth every penny.
Okay, that makes sense. It's about utility, not just status. Speaking of status, let's talk about the top of the ladder. Suites. Is it just about having a butler who brings you canapes?
Well, this is where we have to separate the real benefits from the theater benefits.
Theater benefits, that's a great term.
Theater benefits are things like priority check-in lines that move at the same speed as the regular lines, or getting a special colored key card.
Right, stuff that looks good.
Or a butler who you essentially just call to make dinner reservations you could have made on your app. It's fluff. It's branding designed to make you feel special without actually changing your experience.
So what are the real benefits? What should we actually pay for?
Flow and space. A real suite benefit is true separation, a bedroom and a living room. That changes the flow drastically if one person wakes up early and the other sleeps late.
The early riser doesn't have to sit in the dark.
Exactly. Or a bathroom with a double vanity and a bathtub. Or a service model that actually reduces friction, like a concierge who can walk you past the line at the tender boat.
Okay, that's real.
If it saves you time or creates space, it's real. If it's just a shiny badge or a lanyard, it's theater.
This all leads to one of the biggest aha moments in the sources. We promised to resolve an open loop, the single variable that impacts the trip more than the cabin category.
Yes, and that variable is location.
Location, location, location. It sounds like real estate.
It is the real estate rule. The premise is this. A well-located inside cabin can outperform a poorly located balcony.
That sounds completely counterintuitive. How can a windowless room be better than a balcony?
Because location dictates sleep and access every single day. If that balcony is at the very front of the ship, pitching violently in the waves, and located above the theater so you hear the bass thumping until midnight.
Your luxury category is miserable.
It is. Meanwhile, the inside cabin midship, sandwiched between two quiet decks, offers perfect sleep and stability.
So let's play the game. The sources call this deck plan bingo.
Yeah.
We need to teach the listener how to look at those confusing, colorful ship maps and spot the red flags.
Let's do it.
What are the squares on this bingo card?
Okay, imagine the deck plan in front of you. Hazard number 1 is the vertical check. Most people only look left and right, who are my neighbors. You need to look up and down.
You want to be the meat in the sandwich.
That is the gold standard. You want a deck of cabins above you and a deck of cabins below you. That is your insulation. If you look up and see the pool deck,
You're in the danger zone.
you are hearing the chair drag symphony every morning. Crew members dragging heavy loungers across the deck at 5 a.m. It sounds like thunder.
And if you look down?
Avoid the theater, the nightclub, and the engine casings. You just do not want to be above or below a public venue.
What's the next hazard?
Mystery white space. If you look at a deck plan and you see your cabin is next to a big white or gray area that isn't labeled, run away.
It's not a secret garden.
It is never a secret garden.
Yeah.
And it's not empty space. That is crew infrastructure. It's a service elevator, a heavy linen closet door that slams 500 times a day, or a prep kitchen with clanking plates.
White space equals noise. Got it.
Exactly. You want to be surrounded by other cabins.
And the third one is the motion factor. Physics still applies, even on these megaships, right?
Think of the ship like a giant seesaw. The ends, the bow, which is the front, and the stern, the back move the most. The middle, the fulcrum moves the least.
So if I get seasick, I shouldn't book that fancy suite at the very front of the ship.
Never. That is the worst place for motion. You want to be low, and you want to be mid-ship.
So the cheap inside cabin in the bottom middle of the ship is actually the most chemically stable place to be.
For your inner ear, it is the ultimate luxury.
So we've got the framework, we've busted the myths, and we know about location. But how does a listener actually decide? The sources provide 4 decision tests to run before you book. Let's run through these.
These are your practical filters.
Test number 1, the ship time test.
Be honest with yourself. How many hours per day will you be awake in the room? If the answer is 2 hours to shower and dress, Prioritize sleep and location. Do not pay for square footage you won't inhabit.
Test number 2, the sleep risk test.
Are you a light sleeper? Do you need total darkness? If yes, you need to buy quiet and stable over marketing and features. Prioritize the sandwich location over the view.
Test number 3, the bathroom flow test.
This is so crucial for families. How many people are in the room? If you are squeezing 4 people into a standard cabin, you have created a friction nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
You need to look at the bathroom situation.
Okay.
Sometimes, booking 2 cheap connecting inside cabins is better than 1 expensive suite.
Because you get 2 bathrooms.
2 bathrooms beat 1 butler every single time. That is buying outcome flow.
That's a pro tip right there. And finally, test number 4, the access test.
Where are your anchors? Identify the 2 or 3 places you will visit daily. The coffee shop, the spa, the kids club. Triangulate your cabin location to minimize the walk.
Right.
If you have mobility issues or you just hate walking, being near an elevator bank but not too near is worth more than a balcony view.
So let's wrap this up with some concrete rules. If our listener is staring at a booking screen right now, credit card in hand, what should they remember?
Rule 1. If you are going to upgrade one thing, upgrade sleep and location first. Before you jump from inside to balcony, spend the extra $50 to pick your room instead of letting the cruise line pick it for you.
That's huge. Never let them assign your room. You'll end up under the bowling alley.
Guaranteed. Rule 2. Don't pay for features you won't use. If you aren't going to sit on the balcony because it's too hot, don't buy it. Pay to remove points of friction, not to add furniture.
And rule 3.
Read deck plans with intent. Treat it like a battle map. Look for the white spaces, look for the pool deck, and place yourself strategically.
It really changes the whole mindset. You're not just a passenger, you're a strategist. You know, the final takeaway here is really empowering.
It is.
The best cabin isn't the most expensive one. It's the one that aligns with your specific pace and removes the most friction from your specific trip.
That's it. It's about customization, not cost. A well-chosen, cheaper cabin can yield a happier vacation than a poorly chosen, expensive one.
It makes me wonder, and here's a thought for you listening to take with you, how many other travel decisions or even life decisions are we making based on labels and status rather than the actual outcome of our daily experience? Are we buying a balcony because we want the view or just because we want to say we have a balcony?
That is the ultimate question, isn't it?
Something to chew on. Thanks for diving in with us today.
My pleasure.
Happy sailing.